Are we live? We are live. Guys, welcome to another Monday training by Joey in the low stress, high profit freedom for brick and mortar gym owners group. Okay, so I titled this video, How to Supercharge Your Gym with Member Events and Challenges. Okay, so this is really cool because it's kind of been like a secret weapon of ours over the past 9 years of running a gym, that I think we figured out pretty early on. And something that I realized as I was in different groups and talking with different gym owners and working with them, that not everybody was doing it how we are doing these events and challenges. And it led me to believe they're leaving a lot on the table, right? They're doing arguably just as much or more effort by running events or challenges for their members without any of the payoff that we were getting, right, in return. So I want to break down today what it looks like to run what most people would consider to be like an event that they're putting on for their members, and kind of what they get out of doing that event, or a challenge, right? Running a specific challenge for their members and what they're getting out of it versus making a couple small tweaks and what you could get in return out of all of your effort. And because they are events and challenges do require a little bit more effort than other marketing approaches, but it is the fun part of owning a brick and mortar gym. It is a competitive advantage that we have as brick and mortar owner locations that the online counterparts to the fitness industry and the at-home programs and whatever, they can't do, right? And it's what makes our members, that relationship, that environment, that culture, that community, right? It's what makes them want to become members of our gym. And so it's a shame if we don't deliver that. So if you are a brick and mortar gym owner and you are not regularly doing events or challenges, and I'll break down what I mean by each of them, and like what would be considered to be an event versus a challenge. If you're not doing them regularly, which we'll talk about also how frequently you should be doing these, you really need to start doing them because they can have a massive return on your time and money spent on them, as far as reselling your clients into a higher level of service, or making cash for a quick 30-day push, or bringing in a ton of referrals, right? They do all three of these for me on a monthly basis, right? And so you guys have watched, if you've been in this group for a little bit, you've watched me talk about different marketing strategies, approaches, spending money on ads, all sorts of things. This is a very organic way to get very high quality leads, and it's not going to cost you much at all. Most of the time it's free, right? It just takes your time and your energy, but it is going to give you the highest quality leads in the form of referrals that have already tested out your program, or you're simply going to be reselling your existing customers something new, whether it's a challenge or you're selling them a higher level of service, but the cost to acquire those new dollars is zero, right? Even when you are doing organic marketing, right, and you are getting leads organically, your cost to acquire them is zero as well. But they are not going to be existing customers that you already have. So the effort is much, much higher, right? Whereas now you're sitting on arguably thousands of dollars each month that you just have to ask and then deliver something, of course, for that extra money, right? And I'm going to teach you how to do that in this video. So let's dig right into it. So we have two different kinds of, and I call it member marketing, right? And so if you're a FitBiz customer, member of ours, you're doing the perfect gym model, you will know of this as member marketing, right? So it's something that we do every single month to get high quality leads or cash flow like clockwork. And you guys are doing them. You already know what they are and how it works. But I'm sharing it with all of the non-FitBiz CEOs, the non-perfect gym model people. And so what we're doing here is we are going to be 12 months out of the year, each month is something different. Okay. And it is either an event or it is a challenge. Okay. Now, what's the difference between the two? Okay. You have a member event, which is you getting together a group of your members and doing something in a single day that really breeds community and culture and referrals, right? You're doing something in a single day. Now, this could be something like we just ran an event and we called it the Body by Design Olympics, right? And so it's a very fun event where we get people in the gym, right? Members, they're all members, right? So $0 to get them in. And they're going to pay us $20 to do this event that we put on. And it's essentially, we're giving out medals, right? Gold, silver, bronze. They're testing their fitness ability in these different disciplines, right? And then they get points based on how well they perform. And then they at the end of the event, they add up their points, and then we obviously have like a podium, and it's very Olympic styled, right? And they love it, right? And they bring a lot of spectators. So we charge $20 to be an athlete, and we charge $10 to be a spectator. Okay, so they'll bring in a lot of spectators. Like think about CrossFit games, right? And you're in the room. Maybe there's some kind of regional whatever. The majority of the people in that room are not competing. The majority are watching people do it. Same thing with this event. The majority people are watching our athletes complete in these different disciplines. Now, they pay $10, right? So for each one of our events, we always theme it around giving back, right? And I put that in the description of this video. So we are, as an entrepreneurs and as local community, leaders, we always want to give back in any way we can. So for this particular event, we themed it around giving back to the Special Olympics of Wisconsin, right? Where I'm at. Each event, and we do events every other month, right? So 6 per year. Each event, we are donating the proceeds of the money we raise to a cause, right? Number one, because we really believe in that. And number two, because we are going to get way more people to participate in the event if we do that, if we have a cause, right? So what do I mean by proceeds? It means we cover our expenses first, and then we write a check to that organization, right? And they love it because they weren't expecting anything. They have no idea what I'm doing with my business, but they just get a check in the mail, and it's great, right? And so we get the $10 donations from the spectators, and then $20 donations from the members to do this event, right? And in exchange for their dollars, we do raffle off at the end of every event a prize, and it always switches. This one we did a TV, right? We've done fitness bikes, we've done, all sorts of stuff we do. But we do raffle. Everybody that donates, everybody that participates, whether they are an athlete or a spectator, they get a raffle ticket, and we draw something at the end of every event. It makes it a lot of fun, and it allows you to get donations for people that can't make it. So you'll have a lot of members that be like, dude, man, I can't make it. I have this going on with the kids, but can I donate, whatever, $100 and get 5 raffle tickets to win the TV? And I'm like, sure, of course, man, appreciate it. And so we do that. We raise the money. We have the event. It is a blast. And then we have a very targeted, now this is going to be the key, guys, to every event and every challenge, for every referral, which is anybody that's not a member, right? We have a very targeted way of reaching back out to them, right? And it's something that's automatically done. We reach back out to them that Monday. We always host events on like Saturday or Sunday. We reach out to them on Monday, and because we have their information, we captured it, and we ask them how they like their experience, and we talk with them about any fitness goals they may have, right? Now, guys, these leads are red hot, right? Because 100% of people are not comfortable where they're at physically and health-wise, right? There's always room for improvement. So when you ask a specific question, I'm not going to tell you what the exact question is because that's for our members, but you can probably think there's specific questions you can ask where everybody's like, well, yeah, I would love to do that, right? And it is a beautiful bridge towards saying, well, you've already been to the gym. How about you just swing by for 15 minutes and we'll just chat about you, right? Last time I know we didn't get a chance to talk. Obviously, you were really busy with watching the event, and you got to know some of our trainers, and you got to know our culture and how, like where we're at, But why don't you swing back in? You were just here, but this time we're going to talk a little bit about you, right? And by doing this, you're going to get so many people that it's like, yeah, I can make that work, right? And then of course, you suggest a time. Well, how about tomorrow at 7 p.m.? Does that work? Or we could do 5 p.m. too. Whenever you give somebody a couple options, they'll usually pick one of them versus you just sending them a scheduling link and then they do nothing with it, right? And so by doing this, you are going to be meeting with people that were just at your gym, that just heard the music and talked to the trainers. And that's like the hardest part to getting started, because you don't know what to expect. You don't know where it is, right? You don't know what it's going to look like. You don't know if the trainers are going to be a bunch of meatheads in freaking tank tops, yelling and screaming reps, which that's never the case, but that's always what, what's in their mind. It's like these drill sergeants, right? When you strip away all of that and you get down to the, wow, this place was so high energy and the trainers were so nice and everybody was smiling and these members had an absolute blast. It looked like they were having more fun than they've had in the whole past year of 2020. You get past all of that, it is so much easier to ask somebody to come back in and chat about themselves and how they can partake in the next one, right? And so, so you have to have that systemized. Otherwise, if you are not inviting members and incentivizing your members to bring a referral or a +1 or a spectator, whatever the event calls for, if you're not incentivizing them to do that, they're not going to. Right? You could easily say, yeah, bring your friends and your family. They're not going to, right? You have to give them a specific call to action and tell them why you need them to bring somebody and what that person gets or what they get as a member as a result of them bringing somebody, right? And then as soon as that +1, that person that's not a member comes, as soon as they walk into your facility, what do you do with them? That needs to be systemized. In fact, let me grab this tablet really quick. I want to show you something. Okay, so this is something that we use, and I thought it would be a cool little prop to show you. Let's see if you can see this. I tried to, yeah, you probably can. All right. Whoops, we're getting bright. I'm going to dial it in for you guys here. Let's see. Let's try this side. Okay, so it's a little bit bright. I don't know if you can see it or not. I'm going to try my best. But what it is it's a membership waiver, okay? So it's a waiver. Maybe if I turn the screen brightness down. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so it is a waiver. And as you can see, it says, welcome to our gym. Now, we could put the logo up there. You could do whatever you want with it, right? But basically what they do is they fill out their first name, their last name, their email, and their phone number. Then they scroll down to the bottom, okay, and they hit submit. And there's a little box that they check. Check here if you agree with the following waiver. So they fill this out, right? First name, last name, phone number, email, check here, submit. And anybody has to do it, even if they're not going to be an athlete, okay? And I'm going to fill this out really quick just to show you. But what it does is it, first of all, has them agree to liability. Like, dude, if you're doing an event and they have never signed a waiver, like even if they slip on a puddle or chalk or something like that, and they hurt themselves, like you should have a waiver for them that they release liability for being on your premises. Okay, so that's the first part. The second part is when you have something like this, it looks more professional. So they're like, they're not just signing a freaking piece of paper, or a random checklist. So I put the information in, we hit submit. Okay, so when you hit submit on here, it basically is going to say, thank you, enjoy your event, and then it's going to automatically redirect back to the first page. Here we are, hand it to the next person behind them, right? So it's a very, or we have, these are Kindles. I mean, we have, 10 of them here. They're so cheap. So we can do these quickly when we have a lot of member events. Because if you're doing a big event where there's a lot of guests or spectators, like, dude, it can get crazy if everybody's showing up at the exact same time, which is usually like 5 minutes before it starts. You got to get these in the hands of everybody. And what this does is we use UpLaunch, but it automatically creates a contact based on what they just filled out in our system. And then 3 days later drips out that first text message that says, hey, super pumped that you could make it to the event. Hopefully you had a great time. What was your favorite part, or something like that. And you'll get a reply back and be like, dude, that's so cool. Like, I love that part too. Anyways, I just wanted to touch base and see if you had any fitness goals, right? Because obviously, so and so, and now the automation is designed to get that message, that conversation started. But once the conversation is started, like, dude, have the conversation with them. Oh, I see that you're friends with Susie. She's so awesome. Like, she's been crushing it. And then this person's gonna be like, oh my God, yeah, she looks so great compared to, be like, awesome. Like, do you have any of those goals? And anyways, you're starting the conversation, but it's all systemized, right? It's all systemized. We're not gonna have automated conversations like where the computer is talking to the person. That's weird. But what if you forget to reach out to people? What if you forget to get them into your system or build your list or do any of these things? Like, this should be automatic. So all you have to do is remember to pass these things out. Pass them out, right? And the next thing you know, conversations will be popping up in your inbox that you just have to simply continue. And guess what happens at the bottom of each one of those? Because emails are going out too, right? It's not just text, but you're sending out emails too. At the bottom of them is their ability to schedule an appointment, right? And you will absolutely get a wave of appointments, the next week after you have an event or a member challenge, right? And so that's the point of having events on a regular basis, is they are an evergreen source of referrals, right? So not only do you get referrals that will turn into members, because they're the easiest. Like, think about it like this. If somebody comes to one of your events, right, and they came with a friend of theirs that's a member of your gym, which everybody that comes should be a referral from somebody at your gym, and they talk with you about their goals afterwards, and they still decide to come into the gym to talk more about what kind of programs you offer for them, the probability that they're going to sign up is extremely high because they already know the pricing. Trust me, if they have a friend that's a member at your gym, they're going to ask that person what they pay before they come into an appointment. They're just going to, right? Think about yourself. If you were going to go to like some service-based appointment, like a chiropractor, right? And your friend referred you to the chiropractor they go to, right? Aren't you going to ask your friend, like, what does it cost? So you know what you're walking into? Of course you are, right? And they're doing the exact same thing. Oh, what does it cost to go there? Because if it's something outrageously high, they're not even going to make the appointment. Right. So you have to assume that they've already talked to their friend about pricing, which is going to give you extreme confidence because that if it wasn't an option, they wouldn't show up. So it absolutely is an option to be a high ticket long-term program. They're coming in, right? There's no reason why you don't close these people into brand new deals, right? And so our goal as a gym, and this might seem low to you, but our goal as a gym is to have only 10% of our membership base take advantage and come to our challenges, right? So if we have 300 members, 350 members, something like that, we want 30 to 35 of them to come to our event, right? Which is exactly what we just had for our last Olympics event. Now, of those people, we want 25 of them, 25% to 50%, depending on the event. This will vary, right? On how much the referral or the +1 will like actually participate. We want somewhere between 25 and 50% to actually bring a friend to do it too, which means you should have anywhere from 10 to 15 reach outs automatically happening that Monday after the event, with about 50% of them taking advantage of just sitting down with you, right? Now, that is how you get 7-ish brand new clients every single month off of running member events on a regular basis. And guys, this is only one of 6 different pipelines that we are trying to keep active. So you'll hear me talk about this, but you should have at least 6 different sources of new clients that is currently running pipelines, that is currently running, bringing people into your gym, right? And you'll hear me reference them all the time. So we use Facebook ads, which is the only paid method that I recommend doing, right? Then you have 5 free methods, right? Which is your Facebook group, costs you nothing. If you want to grow the group through ads, you totally can, but it costs you nothing to put value in the group and show them everything that you're doing. It's a Facebook group, right? Then you have member events and challenges, right? Then you have referrals. Then you have signage, people driving by and how you will bring that in and get people specifically off the call to action that you have on a sign. Right. And then you have SMS and email broadcasting. So you're building your list. through all of these different mechanisms, right? And so like, let's say this person doesn't sign up or whatever it may be, but you're constantly building your list, right? And what are you doing with that list? Are you reactivating them? Are you sending out drip campaigns? And then finally SEO in your website, right? Is your website producing leads? And I don't want to get too deep into each one of those, but you should be rating and knowing how strong each one of those pipelines is every single month, right? And at the end of the month, you review it and say, well, how many leads did this pipeline actually bring me? How many conversations did I sit down with and pitch my program to from each one of these pipelines? And from there, you can figure out where you need to put your energy and your effort, right? But we're just talking about one of them today, which is the events and the challenges. Now, while we talked about events, there's 6 different events that I run every single year, every other month. And instead of changing the events, unless it was like a total dud and everybody hated it, instead of changing the events, I just work on getting very good at doing them. So people get so fired up. Like the one that we just did, which was the Olympic one. Like you can bet your ass that people are going to be training. So I do a summer Olympics and a winter Olympics, but the events at each one of them are the same. And the only reason I do that is because then they can retest in 6 months from now. Like there are some people that like they tried so hard to score high and they don't care about what anybody else is doing. They just want to beat their own personal best, right? They just want to beat their own personal record. So they cannot wait. And they've already told me this. They can't wait until we run the next one in 6 months because they have their scorecard, which, by the way, guys, if you're in FitBiz, we give you all this stuff, but they have their scorecard where they see exactly what their score was per this event, and they're training hard now to beat it. A non-scale victory, okay? So 6 different events that we continually run because people will really look forward to them. They will get so pumped up to do the next one, right? Because they like it. And if they decided not to do it, guess what? We're blasting the pictures, the videos, everything all over our Facebook group. So people that didn't do it, it's like, damn, I really missed that, right? Like I should have totally went to that one. It looked like so much fun. And they'll come to the next one. And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, which means more and more and more referrals, right? And that's just how it works. So the first time you run an event, maybe 10 people will show up, but then 20 people are on the fence. Well, I bet you if you blast how awesome it was, how successful it was, how much fun people had, those 20 people that were on the fence, they're going to sign up for the next one. Now, all of a sudden you have 30 people at it, and 30 more on the fence. And then you blast it again. Next thing you know, after 5 years of running this event, like, dude, people are looking forward to it all year. They love it, right? And so that's what we'll talk about events. I'm going to show you a sneak peek of what the events we do every month are. So let's pivot. I'm trying not to make these videos an hour long. We're going to go into member challenges now. Now, these are challenges for members. And again, it really encourages them to bring a +1, but they are for a definitive amount of time that's giving them a service that they don't already have with their membership. So like we are going to be launching next month in March, the 30-day detox. So a very simple titled one. You've probably heard of 21-day detox, 28-day detox, 30-day detox. It doesn't matter. You can call it whatever you want to call it, right? We just picked something that we thought resonated with people. And they're like, yeah, winter's over. I've been hibernating and eating like shit for the past, 4 or 5 months. Like I could really use a detox. It just made sense for springtime. Right. And so that's what we picked the name of it is. You can call it whatever you want. But what we're doing is we have a nutritionist at our gym. And it doesn't come with a normal membership. It's an add-on. It's a plus, it's a service. And we have recovery massages, right? Like therapeutic, like recovery percussive massages. Again, it doesn't come with our program, but for this 30-day detox, it does, right? So we are going to be putting out flyers. We're putting out posters. We're going to be posting it in our Facebook group. We're going to be blasting email, text message, announcing it before and after classes. I mean, you name it. When you're advertising for these things, man, you advertise for events and member challenges. So we're going to advertise the shit out of it. And our goal is to sell, again, 10% of our membership base on this 30-day program that is different than what they're currently experiencing. Okay. So if I sell 35 of them, right, at $199 a month, which or $199 for the 30-day program. It's a one-time program. That's $200. That's $7,000 that I'm bringing in cash money, selling it to my existing members, right? And if you're like, well, my members don't want to spend anymore, I bet you 10% of them do, right? I bet you 10% of them have lost momentum, right? And are looking to regain it somehow, right? And you just offering the same exact thing that they've currently lost momentum doing, they need that little spark and they're going to find it, right? And you don't know, maybe there's members that because you're not offering something are finding that spark somewhere else. And then next thing you know, that's just what they're doing, right? We always want to offer that spark every other month to our members. So on the months that you're not running events, you're going to be doing challenges, member challenges, right? 30 days, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 21 days. You pick the length and you pick what you're going to be giving them that they already don't have, right? And this is how a lot of our members at FitBiz make massive cash every single month, because the cost to acquire this cash is $0. You already have these customers, right? Now, how do we get referrals from them? Well, what I do is I allow them to split the cost with a non-member friend. That's golden. You heard it here first, guys. So if Mrs. Jones wants to do this 30-day detox, it's $199. But if she wants her sister Susie to do it with her, it's $99 each. Because the probability that Susie is going to continue after the 30 days with my gym is extremely high. And I paid $0 to acquire her. She was brought by Mrs. Jones, right? And next thing you know, I sold her on a high ticket program, because the detox is not something that they can do year round, right? It's just to get them started. Now she is doing a transformation program in my gym based on her goals. And I'll have a lifetime value of at least $1,800 on that for the cost to acquire of $0, making it a massive return. And so you should be doing this. If you're thinking to yourself like, wow, that's a great idea, then just do it, and do it consistently, right? Don't do one event and be like, that was great, and then get lazy and not do another one, right? Don't do one member challenge and be like, that was awesome, and then wait 5-6 months before you do the next one. Like, this is your job as an entrepreneur, is to continually deliver these things. And yes, it's a fair amount of work, but it's what builds a very strong foundation for a business, because you are gaining a ton of goodwill in your community. People love the events, they love the challenges, right? And so you can continually do this. And with your member challenges, if you get 50% of the people doing them to bring a +1, it is a ton of referrals, right? And then you'll have people that will continue. Now, you have to make it worth them wanting to do it. So like with the detox, maybe you start a Facebook group, right? And you put these 30 people that are doing the detox in this group, so they feel like they're in a small community type thing, just doing this. And then you ask everybody to post your, like, your goals for the 30 days and why you need to get back in momentum. And then you pick one of your coaches to run that group and post cool shit, once a week or whatever it may be, to give them some value with the $199 that they're giving you in addition to their membership. But then, yeah, they get to meet with that nutritionist. They get to have one of those percussive massages. And these are different levels, higher levels of service that they will most likely want to continue with after the 30 days. And then each one of these challenges, they focus around a different theme, right? So the next one might be Suns Out, Guns Out, right? And it has nothing to do with nutrition or massage, but it has everything to do with focusing on toning your upper body and your arms and looking great in a tank top or whatever it may be before the summer comes. And maybe we're not running it in March. Maybe March is the detox, and then April is an event, and then May comes. Now we're time for another challenge, and June is summer. So maybe that's the perfect time to run Suns Out, Guns Out, because you're going to get a whole different 30 people doing it that weren't really that interested in a detox or nutrition, but is totally about doing an upper body focus, toning up, looking great for summer. Like, they're totally all about that. You can run a booty boot camp, right? You can do all of that around that specific time. The point is to continually do these things and have a very good mousetrap that is systemized. So once you get people that are very interested in what you're offering, you turn it into cash and you turn it into referrals every single time, right? And so let me show you, I'm gonna share my screen with you. I don't normally show things that are within the Perfect Gym Model program, but this is one of the spreadsheets that we give out, and it is called the Member Marketing Schedule, right? And so it has a list of their events, okay? So these are the 12 events that we teach. right? And we give them the posters. So you can see it says challenge, event, challenge, event, challenge, event. We give them the posters that they can print off and hang in their gym. It's all white labeled. So they can just add their logo or leave it as is, right? The overview, so exactly how to run this thing and make money from it. The sign-up sheets, and so you want sign-up sheets, and in my course I explain why. Waivers, I give you the little tablet thing that I showed you guys, and then when they should be running these events and when they should be promoting them and all that kind of stuff. So it's very clean, very easy. Anyways, I wanted to reference this to show you, like, this is how you make sure you're running one every single month and your team knows exactly, or if it's just you as yourself, it doesn't really matter, but you know what the game plan is, when the event's going to be taking place and when you need to advertise for it, right? And so if you're doing this, you have a constant stream of new cash coming in, whether it's every other month from these small challenges, or you have a constant stream of new referrals, whether it is an event or a challenge. So guys, that's what I wanted to cover today. It is such an advantage because you have a brick and mortar that you can do these things, right? That you can't get away with. And if you're not doing them, you're wasting one of your competitive advantages, and it sucks because you don't want to just run an event and be like, let's have a barbecue at the park and people show up and it's a good time, but you get no members out of it, right? And that's why I said in the post, you should never, ever, ever lose money running an event. We just don't have the luxury of that. Brick and mortar gyms, it's a tight margin business. It's a great business. You get to help people. You get to contribute to something that's bigger than yourself. A lot of us get to set our own schedules, and the actual day-to-day work is relatively fun. You're training people. You're helping them make good decisions. Like, it's a great business to own. It's just not a very high margin business, just naturally. It can be if you're really, really good. But 20 to 30% margins is not like breathtaking. Okay. So you can't afford to run events or challenges on a regular basis and not make money from them. Like, everything you need to do as a business needs to result in making a profit. And that's not an agreed, that's just so you can keep playing the game. Like, if you ran a tech company or software and the margins were just astronomically high, which they are because it's mostly information or access to something that was already built, right? Then you can afford to run events and do stuff for free because your margins are just so high from your thing that you sell. Gyms are different. So you can't afford to take losses on anything. And it's not because you're greedy, it's because you won't be able to continue helping people if you take too many losses, right? So this is how to have events. This is how to have challenges. And constantly give your members something new, fun, exciting. Man, does it build your culture? It builds your team. It's always a reason to get your team together in one place. It's just so much fun. But at the end of the day, you're still making profit doing it because you need to. And that's your job as the entrepreneur, is to be able to protect that and make sure that you're always helping your team win. Every decision you make and everything you do contributes to accomplishing the mission, which is making sure that your members have the best place in town to go to, your team has the best place to train in town, and that you have the financial freedom to do what you want to do with your life and your energy and your time, right? And so this is another way that you can do it. You just have to go out and execute it. So again, guys, if you're interested, we do this stuff for you. We give you all this stuff. You can make money off of just this one single thing. You can get a return on your investment, right? There's 6 other things that we do as well. But if this interests you, just shoot me a message. Just shoot me a DM. Hey, Joey, watched your video on member events. Sounds interesting. Sounds awesome. How do I take the next step? Whatever. You guys, you know how to do things, right? But anyways, if you don't, and you just take at least some of what I said and put that into your existing business, you'll see the results. You absolutely will. And if you're an aspiring gym owner, guys, we have a lot of people in this group that are not gym owners yet. They're just aspiring to become one. Use this as something that you start off doing the right way right off the bat. Whenever you open your gym, like, program this in, right? Program these things in. The calendar that I just showed you, I have that posted at my gym because then all my members can save the date. They know when it's going to be, right? And so I don't get the excuse of like, oh, sorry, I can't, I already have something booked. Like, dude, if it's important to them, like, we are the thing they already booked, and they're telling other people or other things no, right? Because they knew the dates a whole year in advance, right? And the attendance is huge and they're going to bring people, right? So do all this stuff because I didn't always do it the right way. A huge part of this group is me showing you what I made the mistake on and then how I fixed it. And now the benefit that I have after having made the mistake and corrected course, right? And so anyways, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. I'm trying to keep these videos shorter. I'm talking faster, if that helps, but to give you as much information so it's actually tactical, right? I see a lot of these other groups and they're talking and they're just trying to motivate you, man. And like, dude, if you're not motivated, you shouldn't even be an entrepreneur, right? I think what you need is tactics. So it takes me a little bit more time in my videos because I want to give you actual real tactics that you can use. I just want to say I appreciate you taking the extra time if you've watched it. If you're watching this now, please comment live right now, jump into the comments, hit live, give me a thumbs up, whatever it may be, so I know you're watching this live and you're absorbing it. If you're watching this on replay, just drop a replay in the comments. That way I can gauge and track my numbers, say how many people are watching it live, how many people are watching the replay. Maybe I should change the times, whatever it may be. But either way, I appreciate you guys, and I'm going to see you next Monday with a brand new topic that you can apply at your brick and mortar gym and make more money and have more freedom. Later.